Greetings, everybody. I'm here again for yet another video. Today is Tuesday, the 27th of January 2026. I hope you are doing well and that you're coping with whatever's on your plate to do. And straight into it today, there's a Bible scripture that says, "You will reap what you sow." You know, the Bible is full of agricultural terms and idioms and lessons. There's one that says, "You'll reap what you sow." So this is for individuals as well as nations and peoples. You know, the American Constitution starts off with, "In God we trust." And I think it's also on the money. But it is ironic that in their case, they've rejected God. And if you look at what's happening today in our modern world, we'll see the effects of what they've sowed in the past. They're reaping destruction now. They say, for instance, that they trust in God, yet they rejected God. They rejected God in their schools. Bibles were removed from schools. Praying was also stopped. It wasn't allowed. You couldn't pray in schools. You couldn't preach. You couldn't read the Bible in schools in the United States of America. Then the excuse was in the past, and I'm talking about a few decades ago, when this all took place, there should be a division between church and state. A division between church and state. That is the excuse of a minority that pushed this concept and caused the government to accept it, where a minority actually indicated that it's unfair towards them. So this thing about a division between the church and state came in, and that's where they used the excuse, that point or excuse, to reject Christianity in schools, to reject Bibles, as well as praying in schools. Now, the irony of that situation was that they allowed, for instance, when they taught social studies and so on to young kids, that they would do lessons on other religions or religions in general. So they will teach about the other religions. I won't mention them, but Christianity was denigrated. It was denied. It was seen as too dominant. So it was like denigrated. And now, when you look at the situation in the United States of America, then you wonder. But it's coming from that time when they rejected God in these different ways I've mentioned. They've got a very wicked society there now, and they export their wickedness to the world in terms of their programs, and in terms of the fact they got so much influence in the past decades that many countries copied and many peoples copied what the United States of America was doing and offering. So you got there a wicked society. Very much greed is manifest, materialism, and great ignorance about the true matters of God. You got violence, racism, and now, for instance, just a very recent thing, a paramilitary group established by the president there called ICE was to round up all the illegal aliens, people without papers who came illegally into the United States of America, and have them deported. But the sad part about this situation is that it's not only people that are regarded as illegal aliens, but also American citizens, people who have American citizenship, have been hunted down and required to give the proof or documents that they're citizens. And in this, there's a lot of protests going on. And the problem is they're attacking even American citizens, and even some of them have been killed recently. And I'm going to use the word killed without an apology. You know, they like to use the euphemism unalived, but I reject that term. Uh, the people are dead. They're killed. So back again to the term, you will reap what you sow, and in their case, they've reaped what they've sowed in rejecting God. They've reaped more violence because they sowed violence not only in the States but internationally. They've sowed racism. It always existed there, and now there's more racism coming out. And division from that racism. They've sowed ignorance because they didn't teach a proper curriculum in their schools, where they taught funny things like Darwin's theory of evolution instead of the creation that's that we get from the Bible, for instance. So that is a terribly bad thing have done, to teach as truth a theory, and a theory is an unproven fact. So that ignorance, they've reaped ignorance and stupidity. So I just want to leave you with that to think about. There's a lot of things we can say about this, and you're going to see in the coming days the downfall of this American empire. Have a great day further.